Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Ruwell. Peace and blessings and salutations be unto the hopeful elect who is in this gospel broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is the Aki of Mahaloya, coming back with another lesson through the Spirit. It says, fake body, Epstein jails, guards, used, decoy. They playing with you people, man. I remember when Epstein, I think this came out maybe like prior to the Pandeezy, maybe during a time. I think Jeffrey Epstein died in 2019, 2020. It's been a minute. Seems like yesterday because we know time is really moving according to prophecy. But we said it. I said I don't think he did. You know, like he didn't have a motive to kill himself. But if anything, if he was going to release these files and expose them, then I could see somebody else having a motive to do this guy. But he never had a motive to kill himself. I mean, because why would he kill himself when essentially everybody he knows could come down with him? Like, what, he murdered himself because, you know, he thought he was going to go to jail for life prison? These men like this don't go to jail, man. And he already said it in a memo, in an email, that he works for, basically, he's a direct agent of the Rothschilds, man. So he wasn't going to go to jail for shit he did. They was spoon feeding this to you people. Because you got Ghislaine Maxwell that's supposed to be doing 20 years in prison. She's supposed to be coming out and testifying again about certain things regarding the Epstein trial. But that shit ain't going to come up over it, man. This is why we keep telling you jakes out there, and many of you people, that this world is a stage, man, all right? And this fucking devil is witchcraft, it's sorcery, you know? Now, all of a sudden, this was a decoy, which when they brought out the footage of him being unalived, and they did a side-by-side comparisons as to the dead body and Epstein's actual photo, it looked different. And they showed you from the head angle, and they showed you as far as like the ear design and everything. He looked like two different people. Now you got some people speculating that he's walking around in disguise and all this other shit, which me personally, I don't think he's dead. Okay, you understand that Israel have sanctuary cities for PDF files, you know, that they can go and lay low. And by him being directly tied to the small hats, I mean, he could, why not just fled to Israel on the ground where the rest of the elites at, man? But I don't think Epstein killed himself, man. And Dabu, he's gonna go into it. This is witchcraft. This is deception at its finest, man. You know, which like the scriptures go into, it says they belly prepared deceit. They've been playing with you people, man. All right. So anyway, let's play the video and I'll get a couple of precepts, and it's not going to be a long lesson, but through the Spirit, let's get it.
That have been covering this up, they need arrested. Like on spot, Trump needs to be firing people. People need to go to jail. None of it's happening. But these files are exposing a ton of stuff. In this instance, we have Massey exposing Les Wexner, who we told you forever and ever and ever, the billionaire out of Ohio, was connected to funding all this stuff directly through Epstein. It was like the man that gave him more money than anyone was Les Wexner. So you had to get to this individual at some point if you were going down the rabbit hole. Well, here we go. Some said it would never happen. Well, Massey is also pushing and saying that criminal charges need to be brought against Kash Patel because he has lied.
And we've been telling you, you know, that was the former director of the FBI, which is a fucking heathen. He's a coolie. He's a small hat over a so-called American organization, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, man. We told you all these people were crooked. All of them are in these files, man. So there's no real justice that will be served in this wicked satanic kingdom. That's not how it operates, man. Okay, they all in bed, like they say, it's one big club and you are not invited. Okay, they're playing games with the people, with the goyim, or the kawayim as they call them, which goes into cattle. All right, they believe that it's okay to put the 99% and deceive them and rip them off and keep them poor, versus the 1%, because they get that out of the Babylonian Talmud. This is what the elites believe. They believe you people are trash, man. When in fact, Esau is the lowest, he's the basest of men.
Oath, And now that they have seen the unredacted files, they know without a doubt that the government knew that there was other people involved and that Cash lied under oath. I hope it's enough to at least get him axed and out of the position, but he needs to serve some time for the lies, for the deception. Straight up, all of them do. From Les to Cash, covering it up. This is why they were freaked out about it getting to this point, and why Trump threatened MTG and said, look, my friends are going to get hurt if this gets out. Well, Trump and his friends. Trump's already outed in all this. They're trying to...
And look, all the ass need to be put in captivity, all right? All the heathen, all of them need to be put in captivity, man. All right? Let's go, what's this? The Book of Job. Go to the Book of Job 15. Job 15. And let's start at verses... Come on, man. Yep, this is the Book of Job 15. And I'm going to start at verses... I see you, man. I'm going to go hit your ass. I saw you. Job 15 and 31, it says, let not him that is deceived trust in vanity, for vanity should be his recompense. Yeah, he's deceived by his own dealings. All right, because in his mindset, he believed that he's going to get away with the tyranny and with the wickedness that he's brought upon the earth, man. And getting away with afflicting the children of Israel, which is the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American, our people, right? And it reads, it says, and it should be accomplished before his time, and his branch should not be green. Yeah, because your New World Order is not going to come to fruition, man. Okay? And it reads, and it says here, and he should shape off his unripe grape as the vine, and should cast off his flower as an olive. For the congregation of hypocrites should be desolate. Yeah, and they are hypocrites, because you got this demon Pam Bundy trying to justify Trump and him being in Epstein files, but all y'all in them damn files, man. But at the same time, you know, you want to lock up journalists for protesting ICE, but yeah, you got a whole scandal of underground trafficking going on right in your country, and you want to turn a blind eye to it. That's hypocritical, man. That's why this man has to be stopped. And it says here, for congregation of hypocrites should be desolate, and fire should consume the tabernacles of the bribery. It says they conceive mischief, and they bring it forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. Yeah, because it's all deceit, because we always speculated that Epstein wasn't really dead. You know I didn't believe it, you know, neither did I really care. But, you know, the people were screaming, release the files, and they played in you people's face like they're doing now. And you people are still dumbfounded, man, because you really believe the gaslighting that this government is putting upon you. And the crazy part about it is that they gaslit you to come up against one another, to continue to charade in their wickedness, man. That's a devil, man. See, when somebody takes something back to you and tell you that it's something, that's just like if somebody give me a book of markers and they're black, all right, and then he gives it back to me and convince me that color black is now red, and I believe it. Like, it's black, bro, but he's packaged it up and he fed it back to you people, and you people ate it up. All right,
to say that Trump is the one that outed Epstein over on Joe Hoft today on that website. It's a ridiculous card to be played, but they're playing it, and they're trying to act like Trump was the first one to ever call the law on them and this and that. Remember, they also said a while back, they went as far as to say that Trump was an informant, and that if you found him at any of these locations, any of these parties, he was there working for the feds. They have tried to do everything that they could do to try to make this guy look squeaky clean. But you can tell by his own body movement, his own actions, him kissing on all the women there at the Epstein parties and all that. Like, this guy's a dog, and he's got a history. And you'd be a fool to think that someone like the Clintons have body counts stacked up to the ceiling, connected to them, and that Trump has nothing. Like, come on now. Like, the denial has been pathetic this whole time, but I'm glad that the black magic is wearing off of MAGA and people are waking up and jumping ship.
But you know what's so wild about it all, though, is that everybody was gung-ho Trump, you know? And it's been speculation that he was in the Epstein files, but everybody turned a blind eye to it because they thought he was going to bring back some type of stability to the country. But his name been floating around there. Anybody that's in some type of power within his Western government, they all a part of this madness, man. And that's why my boy, what's this dude? I call him the Arabic version of Malcolm X, Shaheem Bolton. He was basically stating that all you Americans are Epsteins without the power. He was cooking, man. You know, even Putin said that. He said your Western government is ran by a bunch of Satanists, a bunch of he said a bunch of pedophile Satanists. They all are involved in it, man. And you people think that you live in a righteous society? Okay, this is a wicked rulership, man. And Yahweh Bashim and Hawashai has to destroy it. Okay? Because there won't be no justice here among these people. They're not going to investigate themselves, man. They've been gaslighting you over this for years now. And you people are just sitting back, still voting for these people, man. You know? This is the book of Nahum 1 and 3. It says, for the Lord is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all acquit the wicked. So there's a higher justice in the form of a higher power that have to move on these devils, man. All right. Because the people are not going to do it. You can't expect the Department of Justice to investigate Donald Trump and lock him up. Even if he does, quote unquote, go to jail and he runs his mouth, then the whole cabal comes down from Bibi to Clinton to Obama's. OK, to the who else, man? To the Harvey Weinstein, the big heavy hitters in Hollywood. They all got to come tumbling down at that point, because Trump ain't the only one. And it says, for the Lord hath this way in a whirlwind and in a storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. All right. But it says he will not at all acquit the wicked. OK, this devil he's not innocent. Go to the book of Psalms 58 and 2. It says, yeah, in your heart you wrote wickedness, and you weighed the violence of your hands in the earth. All right. Yeah, because the whole world conflict is based on the wickedness that Esau is doing through his wars, through his military. All right. Through his stealing of resources, his enslaving people. It's all being done by this devil. And it says the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Yeah. And they're lying now. And they're lying in the media. And it's one big show. So all it is a big ass show. And it says, their poison is like the poison of a serpent, and they're like the deaf adder that stoppeth thy ear. No matter how many times you accuse them and say, look, man, you're caught here. You're guilty of this. You're guilty of that. They turn it around and gaslight you. And then they totally turn a blind eye to the shit, man. Because like I said, you got that devil Pam Bundy that's basically justifying Trump and trying to acquit him for the Epstein shit. When basically it came out and mentioned that he was, you know, funneling little girls and all this other stuff. And boys too. You know, but it says here, which would not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. And you look up a charmer is a person that's like casting spells, man. You know, you can woo the people. It's almost like a wizard. Goes to the Hebrew word, lashah, which means whisper, charm, conjure. Charmers, whisperers, whisper to each other. All right, but when you go into charmers, it goes a person with an attractive and engaging personality, typically one who uses to impress or manipulate others. Kind of going back into the garden when a serpent, he basically charmed Eve, man. He charmed her right out of the spirit. He charmed her right out of the spiritual throne, the spiritual draws, man. And she did it, you know. Talked her right out of the clothes, and she went for it, you know. It says here, to impress or manipulate others. And this is what they do. And it reads, break their teeth, O power. Let the mouth break out great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh, and let them melt away as waters which run continually. When he bended his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces, man. And that's starting first and foremost with the truth. Okay. It says, as a snail which melted, let every one of them pass away, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see the sun. All right. So the Most High, he's going to put hell on this devil, man. And he, like the scripture say, he's in straits. Okay? Psalms 52 and Psalms 59, and I'm going to start at 2. It says, deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from bloody men. Yeah. Esau, this devil. For lo, they lie in wait for my soul, and the mighty are gathered against me, not for my transgressions, nor for my sin, O Yahweh. But they have run and prepared themselves without my fault, but awake to help me. And behold, man, because we need mercy. We need saving out of the hands of this damn devil. Okay, because, hey, the scriptures say that the devil will come down to you having great wrath because he knoweth he have but a short time. So now he's in crash out time, man. Okay, because he understands that the Most High got the X on his back. Micah 2 and 1, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. It reads, it says, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Wickedness, trafficking, raping, murder, extortion, bribery, you name it. Ezekiel 28, and I'm going to start at verses 4. And it says, and with thy wisdom and with thy understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasure. And by thy great wisdom and traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Yep, traffic. Trafficking. That's how they get their system to revolve around. All right. Or I'll call you, which means merchandise, traffic, trade. Yep, merchandise, traffic, trade. Trafficking. People can be considered merchandise, cargo slave ships. Like it says, vehicles moving on a public highway, the message or signals transmitted through communication systems. Yep. Merchandise. Goods to be brought and sold, which is people. We was merchandise, man. We still are. All right. But anyway, I'm going to end it. All praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Lord's will, you were edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.
Seeing the atrocities for what they are. Again, are you going to stay there protecting pedos? And gun grabbers, Mr. Warp Speed, the Gentile Messiah? It's okay to say that you voted for him against Biden. It was a trap. But you have to stand your ground and be honest in all these things. We've given Trump props where they're due. And we call him out where it's needed. Because that's what real truthers do. What real righteous people do. You keep it honest. Right? Some people fail to do that. Well, he's connected into this deep. This is going to be the unraveling of all of them. And I really hope that Kash Patel sees charges in all this for playing his part in covering it up. They also speak of this 330 gallons of sulfuric acid that was purchased by Epstein on the island the day the FBI opened up the investigation. So, you can use this compound for RO, reverse osmosis for purifying water, but so much of it, no way. And on the day that the feds opened up the investigation, come on now. Some of these things are obvious. This goes right along with the tunnel that shows that there's an underground facility at the island, which the feds are making no mention of. They want to say nothing about it, but we know that there was a new flooring system put in there. There were cots, there were lockers, and everything else. But again, the feds are keeping it all under wraps. Kash Patel, they're protecting this. So I'm glad that Massey is putting the target where it needs to be on those that are lying and covering up this whole thing. Okay? And then to top it all off in the end, word is they used a fake body, a decoy. And you wonder why they're running around saying that this guy is over in Tel Aviv and all this other stuff. The image stuff is going to be tricky because of AI these days. People done got smoked with a Gemini image, trying to say it was Epstein and it was AI and all this stuff. But they used a fake body. They said it. They said they used a fake body. Not that he was alive or anything, but that a fake body was used to transport, to dupe the media. The real corpse loaded into the van unnoticed. That's what the files claim. So, a bunch of big stuff coming out here in this. Join me for the live stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I've got more time to dive down these rabbit holes, and there's a lot, and they're deep. Hope to see you there.